Hey, welcome back to Two Ski Geeks. It's your boy Will Call, hollering at you today on Sunday. I believe it's what is it, about the last Sunday of March. And so yeah, we're here to help you get your geek on with your comic books. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. Try to move through things pretty quickly, expeditiously, and see how we can get you through these books. So in the first order of business, things that I've read in order to keep you up to pace. So sadly, this is the book that my dog chewed up, but it's an IDW Dick Tracy book, of which from 1931 to 1933 of the dailies of Dick Tracy. I'm almost finished with this book, and I have the whole series from like 1931 to probably the late 40s of the dailies. My point in saying this, why I brought this up, and I did replace this book, that daggone dog. But anyway, this book is actually the model of the Dick Tracy movie from the from 1990 or 89, 90 with Madonna and Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy. This book is actually, for the most part, where everything came from in this very first read from 1931 to 1933 of Dick Tracy. So if you want to learn, if you rewatch the movie and get this book, this is an IDW book. It was published by IDW or republished. And I probably bought this in like 2008. I believe I bought this in 2008. And but they can still be found in used bookstores. Still new. I repurchased mine just within the last month or so to replace my dog's damaging. So you'll enjoy this read. It's a good read, and it's fun to watch the origins of Dick Tracy. Okay, other things that I've read, and I said I was going to read, and that was this Green Lantern Earth 1. And what is important about this is as we flow with the DCU, as James Gunn is calling it now, this Green Lantern Earth 1 is one of the books said to be, or speculated to be, used for a Green Lantern movie or property or show, whatever the case may be. The quality of the writing is pretty good, but the better book and better read is book 2 of Green Lantern Earth 1, volume 2, or book 2 in the series. So this is more origin, and this is more of the Green Lantern Corps story, and they're both pretty good. The writing is sometimes a little choppy and disjointed, but you eventually will really enjoy particular book 2. I know I did, and it is the reason why book 2 is actually more expensive than book 1. And if you begin to look these up, or you buy the whole volume, both volumes, if you buy them separately, book 2 is more expensive. But if you buy them both, probably the bulk of the cost is going to be in that book 2 as you buy them together. All right. So speaking of Green Lantern, and the last thing I'll get off of Green Lantern is one that we talked about. In this case, this is a John Stewart book, and last week we had the first appearance of John Stewart in Green Lantern 87. This is one that was signed by the writer that we had on our show, Philip Kennedy Johnson. He signed this for me at Baltimore Comic-Con, and I haven't read this yet, but this is going to be on my to read list next. I've got a couple other things that I said I was going to read and share with you guys, but that's one that this is one that I said I was going to read, and I put it off for long enough, and so it will be on the to-do list this week, and I'll preview and review this for you next time. All right, now going into the bulk of just books to display, starting with the Silver Age, and this is one that we have, Mod Squad, and this is number 7. It was just a cool book with the Mod Squad, and love Clarence Williams III, great actor that we lost about a year ago. But the Mod Squad number 7 Silver Age book, 1960s goodness when Clarence was a young dude. Also with Michael Cole and Peggy Lipton. And I think Peggy Lipton was married to Quincy Jones, if I remember correctly. You guys can check me on that, but I think she was married to Quincy Jones, and I think Peggy Lipton is Rashida Jones's mama. I believe I'm saying the right thing. You can double check me, but I believe I'm saying the right thing. Anyway, Artist Love. Artist Love. I just love this book right here. This is called Jules Verne Lighthouse. This is an Image book that was put out. And what I like about it is it's a Brian Haberlin cover. And I think we've talked about Brian Haberlin in the past. Brian is a fantastic artist, and this is just straight up, just gorgeous. Love the line work on this. Just incredible book. And yeah, not an expensive book. If you can find it or whatever, it's a version variant, but it's not expensive. It's not an on-demand book. But I was just going through the archives today, and I found this and it caught my eye. And I said, well, if it caught my eye, maybe it'll catch yours too. Inexpensive book. Brian Haberlin is the artist. Jules Verne Lighthouse is the book, and this is number 3. Okay. All right. Now staying back and going back to James Gunn because of books that he said he would use for the DCU. So it took me a while to gather the books that I found to show you today. But I did finally find Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King. So this is one of the covers for Supergirl, World of Tomorrow. Forgive me for that. This is one of the variant covers that I enjoyed. And I picked this, I guess I bought this probably about a year and a half ago, because I think it came out in 2021. I think it's July 2021. So yeah, almost 2 years ago. And beautiful book for number 1. And I couldn't find number 3 down there, but I know I have it. But this is number 3. One of the variants on number 3 for Supergirl World of Tomorrow. And then I've got number 4. And this is the A cover for Supergirl World of Tomorrow. And then this is a variant. I think this is Rose Besh is the artist on this variant for Supergirl World of Tomorrow, number 4. And then we got number 5. And then 6. A very cool cover, cool concept. And then 7 on this series. And yeah, real cool books, real cool to have. I have the whole series. They're dispersed somewhere amongst all those daggone boxes downstairs. But yeah, I think that we are going to enjoy Supergirl World of Tomorrow, or however if it's not going to be the World of Tomorrow like verbatim, that they'll probably pull a lot of the material from that storyline. And I have to read that one too. I'll read it when I find all the books and put them all together so I can just read them consecutively with no break. And then we'll get back and talk to you guys as a family for this Geeked Up family and say and see, what we think about the quality of the writing and the artwork and all the above, and where it may fit into James Gunn's vision for the DCU. But I will say, in conjunction, going back to the Green Lantern story, the concept of the Green Lantern story was pretty doggone good. It will not disappoint when you see it, and if you read the books, and if the movie is really going to be somewhat true to that concept, you'll enjoy it. And so I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with the Supergirl movie, or Supergirl product, whatever that will be. Okay. Fun books. I thought this was just a cool book. Was Archie Predator number 1. This probably came out in like 2014 or something like that. And this is the variant cover of Archie versus Predator number 1. Both of them are cool covers. Archie books are blowing up. And so if you find these in a dollar bin, do yourself a favor and procure it. Okay. Mail call. So these are books that came in from Comic Tom, as you see on the box. Mr. Mail Call from Comic Tom, and you can find him on YouTube with his show. And so these are books that came in, and I'm going to hit these real quick. Thank you, Comic Tom, for these books. I subscribe to him and send him money for these books that they randomly place into packages monthly. And so they give you a little piece of artwork. Then we got a random odd book, Patrick the Wolf Boy. I have no idea what this is. I doubt if I will even open it up, but have this. Then this Barbarella. I think this by Lyrics is the artist, I believe, on that. And this is issue 1, Ashcan edition of Barbarella. And then we've got from Bry's Comics. We've already shown this book, but this is a Bry's Comics, and Bry's Comics can also be found online. But this is his Miles Morales #1 variant, Virgin variant. And this has a certificate of authenticity. This is was limited to 900 copies. I'm not sure what number this is out of the 900, but this is one of the books, and I already had a copy of it anyway. And this one here is The Inhumans number 11. This is a 12-issue series by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee. Yeah, they killed this. This is also this series where was it Belova, the Black Widow, who was the sister of Natasha Romanoff, and the blonde Black Widow, I should say. The series is her debut, and I can't remember what book it is off the top of my head. I can put it in the chat or whatever the case may be, and you'll see what that cover is for her. But she appears, that first appearance is in this Inhuman series, oddly enough. Then we've got House of Slaughter or Book of Slaughter, and I believe this is #1 on the Book of Slaughter because they also had a House of Slaughter as well. James Tynion production here. And this is one of the variants that Comic Tom commissioned the artist. And I'm not sure who the artist is on that, but it's a Comic Tom commissioned book on Book of Slaughter. And then also this one here on Darkwing Duck #1. Now, I know the artist on this one is Johnny Desjardins. So this is a Darkwing Duck #1. And that wraps up the books that came in mail call from Comic Tom. And then to move on expeditiously, I will move into, and if you want to check out Comic Tom, please look him up on YouTube. And I will also put his information in the description as well. And then we've got other mail call books. This Doctor Strange, this is number 17. I can't remember the relevance of this one here. I'll put that in the content description as well. But this is my second copy of this book, and I bought it intentionally. Cannot remember. I believe it has something to do with the multiverse, but I'll look this up and I'll tell you what it is, what the relevancy of this book is. But that's one of the books came in a mail call. Then we've got this Avengers #1 from Marvel Now. This is a Mark Waid book, probably came out in about 2017-ish. And still love Mark Waid. And of course, Alex Ross is the artist. And speaking of Alex Ross, make sure you get your Alex Ross books into CGC by April 14th. They're doing a signing where Alex Ross will sign your books. I will not send in this one, but Alex Ross has been painting gorgeous covers for many years now. And you may want to get your books in there to get autographed and signed and graded by Alex Ross. And this Mighty Avengers is another book that came in. These last 3 books came in from Quality Comics, as you'll see in the at the top there. Quality Comics is the vendor, and I bought that off of Hip Comics. Quality Comics is one of those many vendors that sells their books on Hip Comics. Get that app, and you can find some great auctions and great products at a very affordable price a lot of times on Hip Comics. But I also use it as a competitor to eBay. to find comics. So I recommend that. And then we've got this book here, Wakanda #4. This is by John Ridley, and this is the first appearance of Kime or Kime, however you want to pronounce it. I would say Kime most likely. Kime, she and Tosin is the male character. Kime is a female character. Stand alone against the might of the abomination. This book was on the top 10 list, I believe, CBSI top 10 list last week, I believe. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this week, but yeah, last week it was on the top 10 list. And I bought 2 copies. Very affordable price from Golden Apple Comics out in California. Finally got the books in this week. I think I bought these like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they finally came in the mail this week. Okay. Charging forward with mail call would be this magazine right here. And we talked about this a few weeks ago with this character Saber, one of the black superheroes done by Marvel. And as you see, the writer's Don McGregor. We talked about him because he did a lot of the early Jungle Action Black Panther books, and Paul Gulacy. And Paul Gulacy is an amazing artist, and Paul has done a lot of things on Shang-Chi. I'm sorry, Shang-Chi. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu would be where a lot of Paul Gulacy's work is found, and Paul Gulacy did gorgeous work in those Shang-Chi books. So I'm glad to have him in this book, and I'm glad that he was one of the artists on that Saber book and magazine. And then, so my weekly books, and we're almost done. Quick show today. These came in, as I say, I don't do the local comic book stores anymore. I was disappointed too much and too frequently by the one that was here locally. And so one of the stores here locally, I won't badmouth them on the internet. So I went back to buying books online, and this is from my comic shop out of Texas. And I believe they're Plano, Texas. Yes. And so I go on there and get my books, and they already come bagged and boarded, and they come beautifully protected, well protected, and shipped quickly. I mean, they come once a week, and I'm very proud of the quality of books that I'm getting from them. So going through it very fast, this is Superman Lost #1. This is one of the variants on Superman Lost. Actually, and the A cover is actually very beautiful as well. I like this for the unusual costume that Superman is donning here. That was the reason why I picked it up. But I recommend looking also at cover #1, the A cover. Superman kind of like just standing in the middle of space, in the middle of nowhere. It's a beautiful cover. Then I've got The Last Ronin, and this is #2. This is the C cover on The Last Ronin. Beautiful book here. And then we've got Star Wars Yoda, and that's #5. And then we've got, boy, this cover here, this daggone Gunslinger Spawn. I should have bought more than one. So this daggone, with the Violator #18, Gunslinger #18 with the Violator, this thing kills it. I mean, ooh, this cover is smashing. Love this cover. I'm not sure who the artist is on this one, but my God, they nailed it. Beautiful. Then we've got Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur #4. Love that one. And I am enjoying that cartoon, as we talked about that last week. I'm up to episode 4, and I've got to finish that cartoon out and see where it goes. And then we've got the Justice Society, and this is #3. This is the A cover on Justice Society #3. Love this one for the creativity on that cover. It's just amazing. Love it. It's beautiful. Then we've got Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, and this is the Dark Horse product, and this is issue number 3. And we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 18, still continuing in the Dark Web series. And then we've got Star Trek, always habitual when you start with the stars. Star Trek, this is the Defiant. This is number 1. And there is another cover. There is a beautiful cover, a Klingon cover with Worf with a backlift and with the birds of prey ships in the distant background above him, with gold lettering with Defiant and gold. That is one I want to get. It's pricey though. It is pricey. I think it's a 1 for $50. And it's a pricey book, but I do want that book eventually. And you can find it. I'll put that cover into as we go through, as I edit this video. And then I've got this Silver Surfer Ghost. What is this one? This is the Ghost Light. And this is number 1. This is the second print of that book. And definitely wanted to get this one. The character, the character who is coming back or resurrected was from the original Silver Surfer, Volume 1, number 5. There was a character who died in number 5, and they bring him back in this series. And so I'm proud to have this one, that purple cover with this second printing. Second printings can sometimes be more rare than the original first print, because I usually push out and publish a lot more. So the second print, if you can find it, get it. Get this book. And I'm almost done at the bottom of the pile. This is issue number 3, Batman, The Adventures Continue. And a really cool cover here on this one. I enjoyed this cover as I picked it out from the list. It makes it really simple to buy your books online. Really, really cool. And then we've got Miles Morales, number 4. This is one shout out to my boy John Michael, who's sent me this picture. He suggested this while we were texting a few weeks ago about this cover with this Miles eating a hamburger between the sign letters above the restaurant. Just really cool. Miles taking a break. I think this is a Stegman cover, if I remember correctly or accurately. I believe it's a Stegman cover, Ryan Stegman. 2 more books, and then we're done. And this is DC Universe Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods. And this is number 1. And I'm looking forward to getting into this one to see what this is about. Because of course, we just had the Shazam movie, which is not doing well at all so far as the public opinion. And I will not go see this movie at the movie theater. I'll wait for it comes on HBO Max. But the book, I'm sure this will probably be a lot better as we tie in. I think this book may be used as a way to help lead in to Justice League Dark. If it goes that direction, this might be one of those books that could be speculated to help go into Justice League Dark. That's the rumor mill, speculation mill. So we'll see, as Wonder Woman, as you know, was in the extra credits of Shazam. And so this might be potential source material. So get it while it's cheap. Ain't nobody looking. You pay cover price, and sometimes if you wait a little bit, you might get lucky and find it in a $2 or $3 bin. So last book, Avengers Forever, number 15. And this is still one of those ongoing Kang stories that's been done for the fact that Kang was in Ant-Man Quantumania. And as disappointing as that movie was, but Kang stories are always good. And I recommend still, regardless of the quality of Ant-Man Quantumania, do yourself a favor, find Kang books. I am really looking forward to the Loki series coming up. and how they will tie in. And I pray to God they'll do a better job of telling a better Kang story than Quantum Mania did. Regardless of that, Jonathan Majors, again, just killed that role of Kang. I mean, slayed it. It's so well done. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he will do with that role further in Loki and expanding better storytelling and plot line in Loki. And so I'm not going to say anything more bad about Quantum Mania. So I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Please take your time to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell when you for like and subscribe, so that way you can know when we come up with new shows. I appreciate you taking your time with us today. Hope you learned something, and especially get some good reads in as well, and expand your mind and expand your geekdom and get your geek on. Two Ski Geeks out.